Hello everyone. Welcome back to the 42nd Malaysian Architecture Education Online Series, proudly presented by MASA. Hope you are all doing well and thank you for joining us again for tonight. For those who are new, let me introduce what MASA is. MASA stands for Malaysian Architecture Student Alliances, and it is a non-profit student committee acting directly under PAM, which is the Pertubuhan Arkitek Malaysia, consisting of students representative from all architecture institute in Malaysia. During this time of MCO, MASA and PAM have decided to launch this online lecture series for students to be more productive and gain more insights, where Architect Adjuanta Aziz is the head of PAM education and Dr. 𝐀𝐧𝐭𝐡𝐞𝐧 is the convener. My name is Crystal, a MASA representative from UCTS University, and I'll be your moderator for today. I would like to introduce the speaker for tonight, Architect Anthea Chen. Architect Anthea is a registered architect both in Australia and Malaysia. Worked with a few influential modernist architects in Western Australia and Melbourne, has taught her passion in community architecture and sustainable design. She is currently joining Arkitek Permata Sdn as an associate, actively involved in commercial, residential, and affordable housing projects. She loves being a part of education community and believes in the culture of educating the younger generation to grow together as a family. With the title of the talk, Travel Around the World During Pandemic, the talk will be about sharing good design from around the world and have an immersive experience through a series of virtual tours. Sit back and relax, and we will have Q&A session at the end of the talk. But if you have any questions during the sharing, feel free to type them down in the chat box so we can attend to them at the end of the sharing. Now, without further ado, let's welcome Architect Anthea Chen. Hello, Architect Anthea. How are you?
Hi, good. Can you hear me, Crystal?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, thank you for the introduction and good evening, everyone. You might wonder, what am I presenting tonight and how is it started? It's all started because of my son, as his teacher taught him about 7 wonders of the world in the enrichment program. Instead of looking at the pictures and the photograph that is published on the internet, my husband suggested to me, why don't we try Google Earth to show Oliver the actual site context? Google Earth have improved so much and it actually blew my mind. I'm able to explore the surrounding context of 7 wonders with Oliver, walking around the street of Rome and exploring Colosseum, climbing up and down the stairs at the Great Wall of China with him, and it was so much fun. It inspired me to explore more. My husband and I are both architects. We love buildings. When we travel, we will plan 1 or 2 days just to explore the interesting architecture in that area. During this lockdown, I never imagined that I could travel to some of the extreme places like Antarctica to search for the cute little penguins in wilderness, and also have a romantic trip with my husband in an igloo hotel in Finland. When Oliver is bored, I will take him to the coolest playground around the world, like the Pod Playground in Canberra, Adventure Playground at St. Kilda, to keep him happy at home. One day, I decided to make a video for my architect friends, showing some interesting places in Tibet, Larangal, and beautiful hotel in Austria, just to cheer them up since everyone misses holiday so much, right? That is how I get an invitation from my architect friend, Architect Adjuanta. Hopefully he's here tonight, who I share the video with. Actually, I'm doing this as a hobby. Tonight, it will be a fun night as we are going to travel to different parts of the world. Let's start our journey, shall we? I'll share the screen. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes, from my side it's visible.
Okay, so can see, right? So today's topic is about travel around the world during pandemic. So Let's introduce our trip. Our first stop is Nepal. We're going to explore a school in a remote area. Then we will fly to Australia to see an interesting school in Melbourne University. Then we will go further away from Malaysia, that's Malaysia. We will fly to Germany, a modern city, to explore the 𝐴𝐵 concert hall in Hamburg. Lastly, we will stop at Tbilisi. Tbilisi is a capital city of Georgia, to explore the old town and to end our journey at a beautiful village in Mestia. Are you ready to explore?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thanks for responding. So today, our first stop will be Nepal. Today, there are more than 2% of the world's population is homeless, and more than 20% is lack of adequate housing. Through architecture, architect can help and improve people quality of life. Like Shigeru Ban, the Japanese architect, as some of you might know him, who is known to build temporary houses for the disaster victims and refugees in Nepal and in India by using paper and cardboard tubes. Another architect from Chile, Alejandra Aravena, who also known to build houses for the poor. Both of them received the Pritzker Architecture Prize. If you don't know what is Pritzker, it's like a Nobel Prize in architecture industry. What I want to say here is architect can help the society, especially for the poor community, and to design sustainable low-income housing. Tonight, I choose a school in Nepal. It is a charity-funded project at a village called 𝐴𝐵𝐸. That's the place. To improve the project, is to improve the education of the children at this remote area. Let's explore 𝐴𝐵𝐸, shall we? I'll play the slide. Okay, louder. Where are we now? We are at 𝐴𝐵𝐸. I want to show you where is 𝐴𝐵𝐸. 𝐴𝐵𝐸 is in Nepal. It's in a very remote area. It's the last village in this valley. As you can see, 𝐴𝐵𝐸 is surrounded by all the snowy mountains. 𝐴𝐵𝐸 is a very poor village. Their main income is they grow potatoes, and also their main job is becoming the local tracks. But they have less demand. As you can see, they are not actually at the root of the base camp to Mount Everest. Can you spot Mount Everest? Let me show you where is Mount Everest. Cool. Yes, its switch is there. That's Mount Everest there. That's 𝐴𝐵𝐸. 𝐴𝐵𝐸, it's so beautiful because it's at the valley. Let's have a closer look at this village, shall we? I purposely choose this 𝐴𝐵𝐸 school. It's a very simple architecture for the poverty. It's in Nepal. It's in a very remote area. As you can see, this area is pretty much very simple and bare, with single-story buildings with a lot of fences that is made of rubble stone. Let's check it out inside. Before I start, I want to talk about Nepal. Nepal is the poorest countries in Asia. Do you know that? And in 2015, there is an earthquake and damages thousands of buildings. As an architect, what can we do? What can we help for the poor community? And you know, a lot of these areas has lesser funding from the government. What we can do to help them is to build sustainable buildings for them with an affordable budget. We want to build a safe house and a school for them to help the children open their eyes by building school, especially in the remote area, like where children is very hard. They walk miles and miles to reach the school just for the education. Let's talk about vernacular architecture in Nepal. Look at these school blocks. It's made of rubber stone for the wall, and you can see the very basic construction. The roof is made of wooden structure, and you notice that why the floor is raised up to reduce the effect of the flood. And also you see a tiny hole there. It's for ventilation purpose. Okay, as you can notice that the building has no gutters. So now we just want to study the basic construction for buildings. Okay, let's check it out inside. This is one of the classroom. It's pretty small. It can fit about 10 to 15 students, and the floor is made of hardwood, and the wall is covered just by plywood. It's quite interesting. I spot some students outside. So the door is made of hardwood as well, together with the floor, and all the furniture is made by wood as well. Okay, so I noticed that this shelter use lesser electricity, where skylights is introduced into the space. Let's check it out outside. At the doorway, just right outside the classroom, and you can see the mountain view and some students there. Okay, and the mortar that form the walls. Let's check it out, one of the classroom. They have just the basic furniture, the wooden tables and chairs for the children to study. Oh, I can see the Buddha here. I think it's a Buddhist school. And the teacher will sit here. All the classroom is pretty small. A lot of daylights, natural lights filter into the classroom, which is good, so that it saves electricity. Oh, we arrived at the library. It looks like a library with a lot of books. Can you see it inside this building? Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. We have an Australian friend. His name is John. He's now working with UN, based in Singapore. He traveled around the world to design accommodation for refugee and poor community. We see him is much happier now, although the revenue is not a lot. He really treats architecture as a passion. So let's move on to our next stop. I want to take you to a school in Melbourne where you can see a big difference compared with the school we just visited just now. One of the things I miss about Melbourne is it is a place for young designers to grow. There are so many free design talks and tours like the Melbourne open house that happen yearly, where we can visit the buildings and experience the good design in our own eyes. What I love about this school is how the design foster the learning environment and where students can actually share and present ideas freely. Teacher will just become a co-learner with the students. That's no more like a traditional way. Teachers say 1, 2, 3, and the student just follow 1, 2, 3. And also how the spaces has been planned out that separate into noisy and a quiet zone. And also this building has achieved the 5-star in Green Star rating in Australia with its innovative passive design from the perforated zinc screen that I'm showing here to protect the direct sun externally to the skylight that introduced inside to allow for ample daylight. I shall stop talking now and let us fasten our seat belt and fly to Melbourne. Where are we now? Can everyone guess? I think it is a familiar places for some of the students here tonight. It's in Melbourne, the Melbourne School of Design in Melbourne University. Let's have a closer look at this building. Let's study about the surrounding context of this building. This building is actually surrounded by heritage building and a tall building on one side and an existing courtyard on the other side. It's so amazing how Google can help us so that we can see it in a bigger pictures. That's the main entrance of the building. Let's see the overall in bigger pictures. Where is Melbourne City? That's the one. Can you see the high-rise building over there? So amazing. Okay, let's go back to our building. That's where we are. It's hidden, it's blocked by the tall tower. Okay, so that's the main entrance of the school, and which is facing east. That's why the architect has introduced screen to the east and west side, and there's no sunscreen on the south where it's not required. Shall we have a closer look of this building? Let's check it out. Hey guys, we are at the human levels now. So let me walk you through this building outside before we go in there. This facade is kind of like tectonic forms, and it's designed by John Model Architects from Melbourne and collaboration with Nada Architects in Boston. It's facing the heritage building. Do you know that this building has been completed earlier than what is scheduled? Because a lot of prefab has been used, like precast concrete. Look at the zinc screen that we are talking about. This is the east side, where that's the main entrance of the building. Let us walk around this building. Wow, can you see this cantilever form that is jutting out? Love the ceiling here, it's quite creative. Cool, right? Let's walk to the other side. Let's walk through. Can you see the different sizes of the windows? I really love this curved glass. It looks like a movement. Let's check it out. The real elevations. You see the screen here? It's a translucent screen. It's made of zinc. That's the existing courtyard. That's the heritage building that need to be retained. Says MSD. It's the Melbourne School of Design. Let's go into the building. So excited. Looking up, Melbourne School of Design. Yes, we are at the right place. That's the precast panel wall. Cool. Let's go inside. Wow, can you see the rooms here? Where are we now? On the right side, it's actually the workshop. Fabrication workshop where students can make models. How about the other side? Oh, it's a library. A lot of lights into the natural lights into the library. It's called Researcher Library. Okay, it's for the serious researcher. I like it how it's so transparent. It sort of like invite the students to use the facilities instead of the conventional way of covering up by walls. It's actually covering up by the glass partitions. Let's go to the workshop, shall we? On the right side, let's go in. That's the workshop, fabrication workshop, where students can make models, 3D models here. So cool, right? Cutting mat. Can you spot some models here? Let's check it out. Oh, and this is the tools that are located here, where students can choose the tools they want. Let's check it out. Other rooms. Let's go to the library. They're at the library now. This is so amazing. It's just covered by glass. A lot of natural lights come into the space. Let's check it out, the other corner of the library. This building has created different spatial zones. For example, in this library, that's the intimate personal space, where students can do their work and looking out to the garden outside. Let's walk through. This zone is more about discussion, social space. That's the entrance of the library. Shall we go to another room? Hi guys, we're actually at the basement where the gallery is. This is the deluxe gallery. Wow, love this. Windows. And a lot of lights have come into the gallery. Let's check it out, the student works. Eco campus. Yeah, there are so many models here. Oh, the buildings is on the terrain. So interesting. This is the place where students display their works and they can do presentation at the space. So cool, right? That's the staircase to the foyer. Okay, shall we go to level 1? Okay, finally we arrive at level 1. Let's check it out, the floor. That's the steps going up to upper floors, the feature stairs. As you can see, all this structure is exposed. Let's go in. Oh, can you see this? What's this? It's about 3-story high. It's the atrium. Let's walk through. This is a space where the student can do their work and have a lot of discussion and sharing ideas. How cool it is. Amazing. Love the roof. The timber roof with a lot of skylights. It's called the Brain Louis Atrium. Do you like it? Wow, cool. That's all for today's session. Hope you like it. Thank you. Are you enjoying the tour so far?
Definitely, I do.
Okay.
All right.
How about other participants? Can give me a love emoji if you like it.
Go ahead, guys.
I can't wait to show you the, yes, Jason, thank you. I can't wait to show you the next destination.
All right.
The Hamburg, the 𝐴𝐵𝐺𝐸 in Hamburg, Germany. Hamburg is the port city and it's known as the third largest port in Europe. What is so interesting about this city is the Elbe River, as you can see here. It divided into smaller and narrow canal that interlace the city. It is nice to walk around this city and grab a cup of coffee and admiring the architecture. There are a lot of warehouses survive in this city, as you can see here. The 𝐴𝐵𝐺𝐸 is completed in 2017, and it has become one of the most iconic buildings in Hamburg. Due to its daring design, this building, actually, it also fits well with the surrounding port. It also caters the largest, most advanced concert hall in the world. It's actually 18-story high, sitting on top of the old brick warehouse. Let us go to Hamburg and find out more. I want to show you one of the most exciting architecture in this world. It's the 𝐴𝐵𝐺𝐸 concert hall in Hamburg. As you can see, this building, this new concert hall is sitting on top of the old brick warehouse. Do you know who is the designer of this building? It's our most adventurous 𝐏𝐬𝐧𝐝. Let's talk about the site. The site is actually at Hamburg. A lot of people doesn't know Hamburg is the second largest city in Germany. And look at the site context. Let's check it out, the site context. On one side is the city and the other side is the port. Do you know this port is the most busiest port in Germany? By looking at the site, this is the perfect spot for a landmark building. But one thing we are concerned about, the noise. How can an architect place a concert hall in between the busy city and the busiest port, especially when you can hear a lot of ships passing by and the ship horn that sound boom. How can the architect do that and create the most best acoustic concert hall in this building? That's the view from the cities. Isn't it stunning? I can't wait to go there after the lockdown. It's so beautiful. I'll show you on the public plaza levels later on, then we can see the view. Okay, just want to walk you through a glimpse. Let you see the glimpse of Hamburg city. Okay, let's explore inside. Hi, where are we now? We are actually at the public plaza area, and the government in Germany, they opened this level for public where anyone can see the views, the 360-degree views of Hamburg. I'll show you the view here. Looks like it's a busy port and factories on the other side of the town. Let's walk. Ooh, see the light fading here? And the rippling glass. Love it so much. It's like a water surface with texture. Let's walk around. See whether we can see any city views on the other side. It's so adventurous, right? We can actually travel to different places during this pandemic by using Google Earth. Actually, I'm so excited to show you this building and seeing the different materials that is used by 𝐏𝐧𝐭𝐡𝐞𝐧. Can you see the glass here? Each panel of the glass is custom made and it's different. Can you see the printed dot with opaque dots? For the deco, it helps with the temperature control because the whole this building is cladded with glass, so the architects has to think about the temperature control to the buildings. Okay, let's walk through. Really love the custom made of this glass where you can see the curve. Looks like a wave to me where you can go out. Let's walk. Wow, beautiful. The printing on the glass. Actually, this building is not only the concert hall, it has a luxurious apartment and hotel on the other side that form this new building. Okay. Woof! Can you see it? We are arrived at the main concert hall. It's so stunning and breathtaking. I'm a music person. I love music a lot. During my childhood, I played orchestra as well. By seeing this best concert hall, it really makes me so happy. Can you see the acoustic panel? It's cladded on all the walls and ceilings, and the floor is made of timber. This layout is called vineyard style, where it looks like a sloping vineyards with layout of seats. So stunning. Love it so much. Hope you like it as I do. Thank you. Bye. I hope you are inspired by now.
Thank you. so much for the very in-depth virtual tour, Architect Intia. Okay, let me first ask you, what do you
Um,
prefer to
uh,
be referred to?
you can call me Anthea.
All right, thank you,
Yes.
Intia.
Yeah. So shall we go to the next slide?
Yes, we should.
Our last tour. Let's slow down our pace and travel to our last destination.
Okay.
Our last tour, Tbilisi. It's a capital city of Georgia, lying on the banks of the Kura River. The city has a lot of history, including the periods of Russian and Persian rule. No wonder we can see a lot of architecture. They are so diverse with different style, medieval, Art Nouveau, neoclassical to Soviet modernist style. A lot of religious building and abandoned warehouses found in these cities. Fabrica is a project I want to talk about. It's a adaptive and reuse project. It is an Instagram hotspot with the graffiti on the wall that attract a lot of young people, including myself. It was an empty warehouse converted into a hostel and a creative hub. What I like about this building is the design. The local architect in Tbilisi, the company is called MUA. They try to retain the spirit of this place by leaving the bare walls, floor, ceiling, and existing paint. While what they do is to improve the overall access and the circulation within the building. I also want to take you to a village in Georgia, where we can explore a beautiful village. It's about 8 hours drive from the capital city of Tbilisi. I combine these two places in one video because both places are in Georgia. This is a place where we can find breathtaking scenery like the medieval towers here and the gigantic snow peak mountain, just like when we are in Switzerland. Let's enjoy the place. Hi everyone. I want to show you one of the interesting place. It's called Tbilisi in Georgia. This is the place where a lot of youngsters like to come here because we can explore old and new town. Let's take a look at this place. What's this? Oh, it's actually a clock tower and a puppet theater, and it has show every twice a day. It's showing for the circle of life. What you can see here, the buildings. In Tbilisi, you can see a lot of Art Nouveau buildings and the Soviet modernist architecture. Ornaments of the gates and the stairways. Isn't it stunning? I like all the back lanes where there's not a lot of people and it's very quiet, and there's a cafes here where you can sip a cup of coffee and enjoy the surrounding beautiful cultures and the charming architecture of this town. Okay, let's go to other corners of this old town. Hi guys, we are arrived at the town of Tbilisi. So as you can see on our left, this is the building I want to talk about. It's designed by MUA Architects. It's the local architects in Tbilisi. What is so interesting about this building is it's an adaptive and reuse project. What does it mean? It means that the architect reused this abandoned building. It used to be a sewing factory and a warehouse and converted into a hostel. This place is not only the hostel, it's also a cultural and creative hub. As you can see, the graffiti on the wall is quite interesting. And they try to create this place for the hipster as well. Let's check it out inside, shall we? We have arrived at the lobbies. As you can see, the red stairs, that's the core of this building. It leads you to the upper floors. As you can see, this building, all the original structures, the walls and the ceilings is all bare and exposed, where you can see and experience the old that meets the new. Okay, that's the carpet, the Georgian carpets, rugs, that's what they call it. And you can see the surrounding. It's so cool, and once you enter this place, you can immediately feel the industrial and the eclectic urban design. That is so awesome, right? Wow, that's the chill out area where the lobby is. Let's check it out closer, shall we? That's the bar. As you can see, the architects reused all the old furniture, and it's still stunning, right? So don't throw away our old furniture, and the mix and match is quite interesting. And you can see the exposed pipes and cables and the concrete floor slab and the beams. I really like the Georgian rug. It's so striking. Beautiful. It's so hipster. Let's check out other rooms. Hi, we arrived in one of the rooms in this hotel. This is one of the apartment room that has high ceiling, as you can see. The ID is quite simple. That's the balcony. Let's go out, shall we? Hi, we are at the outside of the guest room apartments. Let's look around the neighborhoods and the views. Tbilisi has a lot of traditional houses, and a lot of houses used to be a fortress. Some of the areas like the Mestia, which I'm going to show you later, you can see a lot of medieval towers, beautiful medieval towers. There's an old church here. Let's go back to the hotel, shall we? This is one of the dormitory room. Bunk beds. How many bunk beds there? 4 sets of bunk beds. Love the colors they choose. It's very striking, new, young colors. Let's check it out other place, shall we? As you can see, the full height glass facade. It introduced a lot of lights into the space. Let's go out. Wow, a lot of mirrors that is drawn on the wall. It's quite interesting, right? This courtyard, what is so interesting about this courtyard? It used to be an abandoned place, and the architect has revitalized this area, and there are cafes, bar, exhibition space occupy this area. Interesting, right? It's so hipster. Wow. Look at the sky. That's a bar there. I'd love to come here after the lockdown. It's so interesting, and it's for young people. A lot of potted plants here. It's the florist shop. Isn't it cool, this place? I hope you like this building. Shall we go to other place? Actually, I want to show you Mestia. It's the village in Georgia. Do you want to go? Yes, I think we should go. See you in the next bit. Hi, where are we now? We arrived at the village in Georgia. This place is Mestia. It's a magical place that I want to show you because of the old buildings and also the scenery. Can you see the mountains? The snow mountains? So beautiful, right? With the green slopes and the medieval towers. I just want you to enjoy the footage of the scenery. Can you see the mountains? So cool. Mestia is actually at the northwest of Georgia. It's in the Caucasus Mountains. Have you noticed the houses here? These are the medieval tower. Isn't it beautiful? Because in the past days, all these houses is used to be a fortress, okay? So beautiful, right? You can see the snow mountains at the far end there, and the green slope that's sloping up to the green mountains. And all the villages in Mestia is actually sprawl along the rivers. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you enjoy watching it and as much as I'm making it. Okay, please show to your friend and see you next time. Bye. One thing I can't do right now is to try the Georgian cuisine, which we hardly find in Malaysia. So I want to conclude for today's talk. The best way to learn and appreciate design is to experience good design for ourselves. Due to current pandemic, we are unable to travel, but we can experience any parts of the world at our own fingertips and still connects to the places and the people. Therefore, start to explore and inspire. I hope you guys have a great time tonight and hopefully it fixed some of your travel cravings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anthea. Definitely myself, I have to admit that it was a very interesting way to bring us all with you during this holiday without having to spend much on the, flight tickets.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our Q&A session, shall we?
Okay.
All right. Okay, I have a question here in our chat box. It's from Jason. He asked that, he says, thank you, Architect Anthea. I wonder if you are working on a project and the area you are working with is under lockdown. What will you do if you can't proceed with your site analysis?
Okay, yeah, the site analysis. Okay, so that's what I show you just now. By using Google Earth, it really helped us to explore the site context in a micro and a bigger picture. Especially during lockdown, we can't travel to our site. So by using Google Earth, we can understand the site topography, whether it's next to the river, whether is it a flat land or on the hill or at the valley. And we can understand the traffic and the pedestrian circulation and the neighbors building height as well, like what I just showed in the Melbourne School of Design. By walking around this, it's not only to help with the site analysis, it's also help us with the precedent studies. Do you know precedent study is so important for designers?
Yes.
Because we are not born to be a genius designer. Even we are musicians, we need to learn like Beethoven, Mozart, how they play, why is it they compose it in a so emotional way. It's like precedent study. We just not just looking at the beautiful pictures on Pinterest or in Instagram, but actually understand it. Because like another example, I always follow one of the local architects in Melbourne. His name is Andrew Maynard. Maybe you can Google him on YouTube. He has done a lot of videos. The name is called Archi Marathon. That's one episode he shared that he thought that he was brilliant. Like he tried to design something like with a wall that separate into rooms. Actually, these ideas has been proposed by other architects 40 years ago. So what I want to say that precedent study is so important. So by using Google Earth, we can walk around inside, outside of the precedent study, the building. And also it gives a more realistic experience than looking at the beautiful picture that I just say. Therefore, using this tool for precedent study before we start the design process. I hope that I answered Jason's question.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Another question by Jason. If you are working on an overseas project, is it possible that you won't even visit the site once?
Of course, we need to visit the site to really understand the site context. But now we are in lockdown situation, so I think we can't do that. So I think Google Earth, it really helps.
That's true. As a student myself, I find it very useful, especially for our online studies when we are definitely restricted to studying from physically. Thank you. All right, there's another question. How long? Okay, this is from Jason as well. Thank you, Jason, for the question. How long did you think is needed for all Malaysians? Are all Malaysian landmarks been archived as virtual tour? Okay.
Can you repeat?
Yeah, sure. How long did you think is needed for all Malaysia landmark being archived as virtual tour?
As long as it can show in Google Earth, then I think we can see it anytime we want, right?
Yeah, on the spot. Yeah, that's true. All right, this is from Masa. All right, thank you. Any good places to travel and see buildings? What is your next travel bucket list?
Okay, this is a very, very good question. Okay, my travel bucket list is Japan. I love to go back to Japan. I went there when I was a student in high school. During that time, I'm still very emotional and have lovesick. So I still want to go back to Japan to see the new and the traditional building. I love Japanese food and want to go to the market and explore the pop culture and the scenery, the beautiful Mount Fuji, the cherry blossom, and also want to try the hot spring. And also, you know what? I like the farm agriculture there, where we can see a lot of flowers agriculture, vegetable agriculture. Another place to see building, it's Georgia, is the one I just showed you, because it has a mix of style of the old buildings from Art Nouveau, Soviet modernism architecture, neoclassical architecture. We can find it there. And there are so many beautiful villages and scenery. And you know what? Georgia is well known for wine and the cuisine. And third place, I also want to go back. It's the Barcelona, because I miss the people there. The people is very friendly and warm, and I love shopping there. You know, Zara is from Spain. I love Zara, and the food is amazing. The tapas, because I'm not a big eater. I like to eat small thing. I can try everything. So tapas is really good. And of course, I want to explore Gaudi works, but not in the holiday season because the queue is always very long. And lastly, I always recommend students to go to Melbourne. Melbourne is a vibrant city. And do you know, Melbourne has voted third time as a livable city in this world. So it has so many interesting new building and landscape design. Try to go there during the Melbourne open house seasons, where we can actually, it's free events, and we can actually, there are a lot of building that's open up for public to view and to experience the design. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Now we have another question from Priya Shah. What is your favorite architecture style? Brutalist, postmodernism, etc.
I don't really have a favorite style actually. I think everyone that shouldn't have a special style. For me, my current design is influenced because I was trained in Melbourne. I think a lot of my design inspiration is come from that area. So it's like modern, squarish, but also depends on the brief and the concept that we want to propose to our client. So I don't have a specific style that is my favorite.
All right. I hope that answers your question. All right. Okay. I have a question for you, Anthea.
Yeah.
Now, as a registered architect from Melbourne and Malaysia, certainly there are students, graduates, or even working adults who are planning to continue their architectural journeys overseas, right? So what have you learned during your time abroad that should be taken note of?
Okay. It's a long journey. I think I should share my architectural journey in Western Australia and also in Melbourne. Okay. So when I was a student in Curtin University in Western Australia, during the term break, I usually work part-time with local architects to earn some pocket money because my parents doesn't give me a lot of money like compared to other of my friends. But I was very lucky to work with one of the modernist architect. His name is Raymond Jones. He's based in Fremantle. By seeing his interest and passion in sustainable design is really overwhelming me because due to his old age, his eyesight has deteriorated, but it never stopped him continue his passion. Do you know what? He used a magnifying glass to look at drawing. Do you think you can do that? When I was a student, he always encouraged me, and I remember he lent me a book. The book's name is called The Architecture of Happiness by Alain de Botton. Overall, it described the nature of beauty in architecture and how it affects the people every day. So it actually, what I want to advise to the student here is, during term break, don't go back to Malaysia. Stay in wherever you are in overseas, because a lot of my friends after graduate, we don't have student visa anymore and they are not going to pursue the permanent resident. So they will just go back. So take this opportunity during the term break to work with the local architects there to gain some experience. And also during my time, I'm not sure about now, during my time, a lot of fresh grad that couldn't find jobs after they graduate because they have no working experience. That's why during my term break, I work with different local architects over there to gain some working experience and so that I can include in my CV. So after I graduate from the university, I joined commercial architects in West Perth. The company designed a lot of commercial buildings, as you name it, office, apartments, malls. But for commercial architects, times and money is important. Somehow, I was lost trying to find the meaning of being an architect. So as living in Western Australia is too comfortable, and I also want to admit, I'm not sure whether you agree with me, the theory of nothing grow in a comfort zone. I always use this theory in my life, so I decided to move to Melbourne with my husband. So it was tough actually living in Melbourne because we have lesser friends there, because most of our friends, uni friends, is from Western Australia or in Malaysia. And also it is tough because I have to compete with so many talented designers out there. So what can we survive? We take courses to upgrade our professional skill, like we obtain the architect license, attend a lot of design talks and tours. But I never regret it because it's a city for me to learn, experience, and love design. I also joined, after I moved there, I joined a firm in Hawthorn. Hawthorn is an inner suburb in Melbourne, which specialize in community building, schools, and aged care facilities. I was very lucky and I was very thankful of one of the directors there. His name is Ted Adams. He actually guided me and encouraged me throughout this architectural journey because I was quite timid at that time. My advice is to choose for the student here tonight, choose the type of architectural practice you want to join, whether it's a small, medium, or big company, whether they are residential architect, commercial architect, community architect, award-winning architect, because it's so important, because it will affect your design decision in the future and your career path. Hopefully, I should stop talking now.
It's okay.
I will just keep going and going.
It's okay.
I think that's all.
All right, thank you. But before we go, we have one more question by Austin.
Okay.
He says, which one is your proudest project so far?
Okay, my proudest project. Actually, currently I'm working on one of the project is affordable homes in Penang. I'm from Penang. So what I noticed for affordable housing is so dense. So what I introduce is a lot of green pocket space into the buildings, and I actually persuade the client. Can you imagine that? That's a lot of ways to persuade the clients by using sketches and precedent studies. And I try to introduce the post-pandemic design into the building to suit the current condition, where you can see a lot of, for example, facilities. We try not to have aircon, mechanical ventilations rooms. So what I do, most of the facilities are natural ventilated, and a lot of cross ventilation within the towers to make the building breathe. So I think that's my current project, which I'm very proud, and hopefully it will complete in 3 years' time.
All right, thank you. That was all right. Oh, he says it's interesting. Thank you, Austin. All right, now I would like to say thank you so much for the questions prepared by the participants, and thank you so much, Anthea, as well, for sharing your journey with us. It was very knowledgeable and definitely should be taken note of. Do you have anything else to say before we conclude the session?
Okay, what I'm going to say tonight is architecture travel, it's about education and professional development. Since we are stuck at home, I'd like to encourage you to start explore and be inspired. That's all from me, Crystal.
Thank you. Right. Thank you for joining us tonight for tonight's online lecture. We hope you are all enjoying it and gain a lot of information and insights. So do keep in touch with our Masa's Instagram and Facebook for the next online lecture. This lecture is also recorded, and the video link and the slides will be posted in our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, if you haven't already done it, feel free to register with PAM membership at www.mypam.org.my, as there are a lot of benefits for architecture students. Until then, have a good night and stay safe. Bye.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Bye. Good night.
Bye. Thank you.